Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today. This is Jonah with another episode of Moving Women Forward Community Podcast. Uh, Before we start with our guest, you will see the name, obviously. So that's easy to understand. And absolutely, it's a well known personality in this case in the finance world. Thank you for being here, by the way. I want to quickly say what is our mission. So, we have one simple mission to help 100 women in 100 days. How do we do that? We help you from feeling stuck to empowered by amplifying your voices through expert-led support and visibility opportunities, and why not meaningful networking. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce now our special guest. Drum roll, everybody. This is Tracy Irwin, right? Tracy, if I pronounce it right, a finance mentor. Thank you so much, Tracy. I'm rubbish in introductions, so I'm going to leave the floor to you. Please do the introductions and your name properly in this case, and then we will carry on with the questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Jonah. Honestly, we just had a conversation, didn't we, about how to pronounce different people's names in different countries. It's very different. So yeah, my name's Tracy Irwin. I'm a finance mentor. I've been a accountant for 30 years. I've been a business owner for 25. So whatever position most business women are in right now, I've probably been there. So I sold my practice in 2024. I was going to say to semi-retire, but that didn't really happen. And I created the Money Metrics Academy. And the Money Metrics Academy helps women, men, business owners to get unstuck with their business through understanding the metrics in their business. So understanding which numbers they need to know and which ones to leave to their accountant. So it's done through courses and momentum meetings where we get together and we help each other. So it's a peer-to-peer accelerator, and I'm loving every minute of it. So much for semi-retirement.
Yeah, so much. Yes, so much about numbers also. So yeah, I said when I announced the podcast, the session, the episode actually. We are in episode 15, by the way. So today is the 15th of September. What are the odds in terms of
Oh, that's
numbers?
cool.
It's amazing, right? Uh, so Tracy, I like the numbers. Maybe
Good.
less than you. However, I still like the numbers. I want to get those numbers. I want to keep track of the numbers, mainly for insights and data-driven solutions. But that's fine. I also like to have my numbers in terms of finance. I'm not the best in keeping being accountable about my numbers. But what I want to explore with you today is how can we gain this clarity, the financial clarity, without feeling intimidated. So I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't want to see those numbers. That's what I'm scared of, right? I don't want to. I refuse, basically.
I think a lot of the time people are scared of their numbers, and I don't think it's because they're going to tell them what they don't want to hear. I think it's because they're not going to understand them. So, like, my biggest thing is I refuse. I refuse to talk accountancy jargon. I don't like it. I don't think it's necessary. Business owners are meant to be able to understand their own business, and that's what I want to help other people to do. So, like, the first place to go is to your accountant and just ask them. Like this, I do a download that's like the 6 make or break numbers in your business. So really, for me, every business owner should understand what their break-even point is. So understand exactly what you need to turn over before you even make a profit. It's like a line in the sand. It's like before that you're not making anything, and after that, then you don't need to cover your fixed costs anymore. It's all profit to you. So that for me is paramount, and so many business owners don't understand that before they've actually set their prices, and that's quite a scary thought. So it's those kind of numbers. So I won't explain them all, but there is break-even point, there is your desired income turnover, there is your lifetime value of a client, there is your cost per client, there is your business buffer, which is the free cash in your business and probably the most important one. And there is also your turnover to employee ratio. So those 6, those are your starting point. And once you understand those, you'll understand a lot more about your business to be able to know what to tweak and what to push forward with.
Amazing. Tracy, I have a question. Can we rewind a little bit.
Of
uh,
course.
the 6 points, are those for small businesses like one man band, or are those for teams, or they can be applied for any size? We're not going into
So,
large corporate
yeah,
models here, but
the first five is for absolutely any size business. The only one is that's like, so your employee to turnover ratio. That's as soon as you get your first person in your team. And I don't mean an employee, I mean a freelancer or anybody who is helping you to grow. So yes, all six generally can be for just a solopreneur, because you need to understand the differences between what's a direct cost and what's a fixed cost. And once you've got that concept, all these numbers become dead easy. Promise.
well, yeah, probably. Let's stop at the probably, because
No,
it looks like,
promise, I said.
yeah.
Not probably.
Oh,
I promise.
okay, okay. I wanted to hear that probably.
No.
So therefore, therefore I had it probably. That's my intention, probably. Very good. Oh, thank you very much, Tracy. That's very clear. I don't want to go. We're not going here in details of the numbers and what are the points and how they work. That's part of your book, because you have that. You have work. You have written a piece of work about those points and the numbers. But we will mention that at the end of the podcast of the session. Right. Financial independence. Our community is called Moving Women Forward,
Yeah.
and financial independence is a must for any founder who wants, and truly wants actually, to move forward in business. Obviously, if you don't have that finance independence, you are not building what you are planning to, and you are growing. I'm not sure you are growing in this case, but you are probably not growing as you are expecting to. Tell me more, tell us more, even so the audience is here, and they have tuned for this very reason, to hear your experience and your insights. So what does this financial independence truly look for
For
women-led
me,
businesses?
for
not
me,
not necessarily women-led, but this is our
I
community.
know. It's weird because I normally ask other people this question when I'm doing, but for me, financial independence means choices. It means you have a choice. So I want to take you back to when I was 6 years old. So, and my dinner was on the table. I was um, in a small like kitchen in the northwest of England, and I had my dinner on the table. It wasn't anything fancy. It was just fish fingers, chips, and beans. And I remember because something was different, and my mum wasn't eating, and it wasn't because she was on a diet, and it wasn't because she wasn't hungry. It's because she wasn't given enough money to feed us all, and she didn't eat. And that moment, along with probably many others, has kind of been why I'm so passionate about financial independence, because she had no choice. She wasn't given the choice to be able to do things. And the thought of people going without food or paying their bills because they don't have the choice to do that, that's what matters to me. And I think when women are in business, like they kind of, it takes that mindset to know that they are worth what they want. And knowing your numbers really helps with this, because if you know what you need to live or what you would like to take from your business to live, there's two different numbers, very, very different numbers. There is your minimum of what you need to live, but then there's the number you'd quite like to take because, you know, we want to live a nice life. Knowing those numbers gives you choices on how much you charge. They give you choices on actually what services you provide. And I want everyone to have those choices. That's what financial independence is. It isn't about sitting on a beach, supping a cocktail. I mean, I know I live in Spain, but it isn't about that. It's about having the choice to do what you want, work with who you want, when you want, and how you want.
That's a freedom. Definitely. Yes, a very clear, and yeah, it's from real life experience, and
Yeah, it is.
what what for founders also. should be looking when they look at the
Yeah.
numbers,
I
right?
was
So
a
those
single
numbers.
parent, 19 years old, by the way, and I still worked. Like, I was like, there was no way I was not, the thought of being financially dependent on somebody else just never sat true to me at all. So even back at 19 years old, I was still working as a single parent.
Tracy, talking, can we stop for a moment here? I know we haven't planned, this wasn't on the agenda, so we haven't planned to talk about this, but I always ask to my guests, would you think that is also the financial independence, or how we see, how we have this relation with money, with the finance? Is it also linked somehow with the cultural background? So we have women from all walks of life, so we are in international communities, so
Yeah.
therefore.
Some of it's generational, some of it's culture. So we see what our parents did. And some of it is mindset. So it's a mixture of all three different things. And the culture one is big because it depending on where you are in the world, actually, how female business women are portrayed. Anyway, so it's kind of like what's expected. It's what's expected of us as women within any industry. And it's kind of like even in mine, by the way. So as a fractional CFO, I help businesses with as a finance director, and I know in my space, men still get paid more than I do, and it's not about my prices because like my prices, I'm not the cheapest, but it's like what is it? What is it about that? Which I haven't got to the bottom of. So I don't think there's a lot of people still don't know. And it's kind of like, so it is a gender thing as well as the culture thing. But it's a lot to do with mindset as well. It's about understanding what your area of expertise is. And once you understand what your difference is that other people don't have, that's the ability to be able to have the confidence in yourself. Because when we're confident in ourselves, we talk different, we act different, we walk different. And it's kind of like people see that. Like, I like there was a podcast with Stephen Bartlett that I saw, and a lady on it said, women sell more when they wear makeup. And I'm like, at first, I really wanted to push against that. And I was like, why? What difference does it make when I've got makeup on? But it isn't about perception. It's about what we feel about ourselves. When we have makeup on, we've done our hair, we've got dressed up, then actually suddenly we feel better about ourselves. So we've become more confident. It isn't what the perception is, it's what we emanate out.
Yes, so it's a piece of work within ourselves, basically. That's what we've got to do. But
It
that's a
is.
good advice. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm 100%. So I'm not 100% agreeing with what that podcast mentioned, but
No, I mean,
that's
that's
for
what I mean. I
another
wanted to
episode.
argue against it so much.
Yeah.
I was
So
like,
I'm not
why?
against, but not. I'm not neither. A pro. What was saying. So I've
Yeah,
got my own take on that, but that's for another episode probably. So Tracy, we might arrange for another episode at this
anytime.
point. Amazing. Right. So going back to the mindset, going back to what we feel, cultural background, any sort of blocks that we have within ourselves. So, what are the common money habits that are holding us back?
So a lot of the
Money habits.
common,
So, they're
yeah,
habits
money habits. They're like,
already. They are habits already. They are built up, right?
I know a lot of it is again to do with our pricing. So we look at what other people charge, and then it's a self-worth thing. Some of it is about spending. So women tend to be one way or the other. It's never like I've talked to a lot of women, but some are like emotional spenders. So if things aren't going to like quite right, they'll just go out and spend money to make themselves feel better about themselves. Or some people have a scarcity mindset where they believe that they can't pay that much for an entire year because what if it doesn't work? And those two different things are very like they're opposites, but they can create the same thing. They can make us stuck. And having a budget of what you would like and knowing where things should be is probably like the thing that you should do first. So I teach people how to pay themselves first in their business and how to pay themselves first in their personal life. And when I do the personal one, we talk about future self. So when you take out some money out of your business and you don't just put it all in one pot, it should be allocated before you even take it. So for instance, I have a certain percentage that goes towards my future to protect what, when I retire. Then I have a set of money that goes into my joint account with me and my partner. And that pays all the fixed bills. So it pays everything that goes out, like your mortgage, your car tax, everything that goes out automatically on direct debit. I never worry about that account ever. We put the same amount of money in. And for me, it depends on what your circumstances are. If you feel like you're on an even keel of salaries type thing, then put the same amount in. If your partner earns 5 times more than you do, then obviously there's a percentage difference that needs to be allocated into that, because you'd be putting all your money in and not getting any free money for yourself. And then once that's all paid for, we have another one that has a card with it, and that pays that the same again. We put exactly the same amount of money into it, and it pays things like petrol, food, date nights, everything that we do together. We never ever argue about money, never, because we have that system that if it's on the card or in the bank, and then the rest of it either goes to my savings or it goes on what I call my teenager card. So I have a card that's for my spends only. It goes the same amount of money every single month, and that goes for things like Lego, wool, because they're my hobbies, and if I go out with my friends, and that stops me overspending, because I can be a spender, by the way. That's I think it goes back to not having anything when I was a child. As soon as I got financial independence myself, I started to splurge, and it took me a while before I realized that this emotional spend of I've got it so I can spend it actually wasn't making me happy at all. But it did take a while for me to actually understand that. And so I have this little teenage card, and then once it's gone, and I love it. It's helped me prepare for my future instead.
Now that's a lot of cards.
It's not. It's one bank account and two cards.
Yeah. But going back to a teenage card, I'd like to stop a little bit on that teenage card. Obviously, that is quite rhetorical, but now for those that have teenagers, like real teenagers, are you putting that money in a different pot? So this can be, obviously, this is a joke. It can be a teenager, can be I don't know, any expenses that you are planning for your business. So
Yes.
do you allocate different pots?
When it comes to your business, you really do need different bank accounts. So that teenager card I have, it is literally just a Wise card, and I like it because it's got euros and pounds on it. So it's just a card. I don't really see it as a bank account as such. I don't, the only money that goes in it is the money that goes onto the card every month. But in your business, you should definitely have different bank accounts, and in 2 different banks as well. And I know it sounds like a lot of hard work, but actually once it's set up, it's really it helps you to understand what money is for anything. Because if you have, I used to have all my money all in one bank account except a tax account. So I've always had a tax account. I'm an accountant. So I used to put money into a tax account, and then the thing that used to keep me awake at night when I was growing the business was, would I have enough money in the expenses account to pay my team at the end of the month? So the bank account, because of the VAT, used to go up and up and up, and then it go down. And I used to have sleepless nights about whether, if I paid a big bill out of the account, would I be able to pay my team? And I always could, but it didn't stop me having sleepless nights about it. And in the end, I just took a percentage out. So I did another account. I knew exactly how much my team were costing me because they're all productive. So it was like a cost of sale. So you just have to put a percentage into another bank account. And I never worried about my salaries ever again because I knew that that money was safe every week when the more money came in. I used to put the percentage away and there was always enough to pay the team. So then therefore I had this expense account which was allowed to pay, any expenses that I needed in the business. I also have like a profit account as well. So like I used to put money inside again to save for big things, like if we needed assets in the business, we wanted to do a new project, things like that. So we always had money aside, saved just in case, really. So yeah, there was definitely ways of making sure you understand. In this way, if you are putting money into a tax account and a profit account, the one that's in your actual expenditure account, you know you're safe to spend. Whereas most people just pay their bills first and then they pay themselves last. And that's totally the wrong way around. It's like pay yourself first. If you can't afford the expenses, find a way to do it yourself. You've either got to like drop your expenses or build your profit. So yeah, that's how I work it.
Amazing, right? So, so boiling it down, basically, is it like that? So, I think it's missing a little element in businesses. In my opinion, it's the structure. So I think people get lost in too many things, too many ideas, too many ways.
Yep.
But the structure, financial structure, business structure, idea structure, I don't know, social media structure, whatever we're doing, website, even the website, it has to have a little structure.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not doing the work. So that this is my take, isn't it? Tracy, please back me up.
No, it's true. You need a process for absolutely everything. If there's no process in your business, it can happen one way or the other, month after month. It can be different all the time. If you have a process and system, and it's consistency. So, like the going back to the bank account things, the money used to go into the income. Well, it still does. It goes into the income account, and then all the income account does. That's the purpose that it has is every Friday I look at it and I put the percentages into the other ones, which are all working accounts. And that process meant I never worried about cash because I was doing the process and doing the system. So yeah, you're right. And I think that financials are the foundational system of everything. I know I'm going to say that because I'm an accountant, but I actually don't do accounts anymore. So I kind of like can't remember the last time I did a tax return. So it's kind of like just it's the finances, because if you're not sure on your numbers, you can go into any other structure. Like, let's go to marketing. You can throw money at marketing, but if you don't know the numbers in your business, the only certainty is you're just going to go bust sooner. Because if your business isn't financially viable, your growth is just going to like make you lose the business even quicker than you were already. So you've got to get your numbers ready before you do anything else. So yeah, that's why I wanted to help small businesses, by the way. So the Money Metrics Academy came out of a passion project because I realized I'm doing financial direct work for larger businesses, but the people I really, really wanted to help wouldn't be able to afford that. So I wanted to make something that was cost effective and helping small business owners. So the Money Metrics Academy is built for people turning between 50,000 and 150,000. So that's kind of
Amazing.
like small businesses.
Do you want to tell us a bit more about the Money Academy or any?
Um, well, the academy's there. There is a free entry level if anybody wants to come in and have a look. There is some free videos, and they can do some of the events, but not all of them. Yeah, if anybody wants to have a look, I'll give you the link so that they can go into that. There's also the ebook. So the 6 numbers I mentioned before. I have a downloadable ebook and a workbook, so you can actually find your own. And obviously, as you know, because we've met, I actually wrote about how to get time freedom. So I wrote my story, my entire story, on how I went from running an accountancy and feeling like it was a prison, to living in Spain and having the business run without me. So there's the actual physical proper book as well. So I can give you the links to those if
Amazing.
anybody wants to come and check me out. That's absolutely fine. I'd love to hear from anybody.
Yes, please do share them in the thread, in the event thread, and then I'm sure that the audience will come back to you if they have any questions or if they want, if they want to check you out, basically, and follow you with your finance mentoring program and tips and resources that you have. Tracy, we're coming to an end. Thank you very much. I might have another question, actually. I may have one.
Of course you can.
Now, can we go back a little bit to the consistency?
Yes.
I talk a lot about that. It's in every piece of work I do. It's my framework, but not necessarily my framework. I want people to be consistent, even with finance. And that's not my specialty. I don't do any kind of work on that subject. But please tell us a little tip, one tip today that we can start to action and be consistent with the money.
I would find the 5 key numbers in your business that matter to you, because every business is different.
Slow down. I'm going to take notes. Okay,
And
5 key
then-
numbers. Perfect.
And then just create a spreadsheet. Create a spreadsheet that shows you what it is now and then what you would like it to be. And then just every single month, go into your finances and just check, because things like that. So things like, your age receivables, which is how much money people owe you. Like just keeping a track of that, just to make sure that it doesn't go over a certain amount, because then you're not getting people aren't paying you quickly enough. Things like your marketing spend. So people get really excited about doing new marketing, especially when it's direct marketing online and stuff. Have a percentage. Say you only want to spend, or actually, I'd say the more you can spend, the better, because you're going to grow. But it doesn't always work like that. So when you're testing something, say I want to spend 10% on it, track it. Just go in, look at your turnover, look at your marketing spend, and see what the percentage is, and track it every single month so that nothing runs away from you. And that's it. Just find the 5 key numbers, set up a spreadsheet, and just track them every single month. And then you can see whether things are going okay or not going okay. Because I know what you said before about sometimes you're worried about the numbers, but actually having sight of them and be able to see them makes you fix them so much sooner. And it's never, never as hard as you think it's going to be.
At the very beginning, probably. The probably word. Yes? With a probably, yes.
Donna, I am actually launching at Christmas. It's in design stage at the minute, but I'm actually launching the Money Mindset Journal for small business, for entrepreneurs. So
Amazing.
I'm going to send you a copy because I need you to read
Oh,
it.
sweet. Yes. Yeah, I'd love for you. Yeah, you can also come and talk. To the community if you want to host a little talk about that, or a masterclass.
Thank
or
you.
if
Christmas,
want to
that'd be
share.
lovely.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Right. Okay. All right, Tracy. So much fun talking about numbers. Who would have thought? Numbers are fun. I said that. I enjoy numbers.
Fun.
They're good. Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah, they are fun.
Lovely to talk
Thank
to
you
you,
so
Jonah.
much,
Thank
Tracy.
you so much for
Thank
having
you for
me.
being on the episode, and thank you everybody for tuning in today or watching the replay. You better do that because Tracy is going to share some links that you can find out, resources and other things that support your business. Stay tuned for next week, Monday at 12 p.m. UK time, for another episode with another stellar guest talking about all things business. Thank you, Tracy, and chat soon, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.